Hello there and welcome. My name is Mickey Marvel and you are on the Your Creativity Business Podcast. And I'm joined with my first ever guest, JB, aka Untethered Studios. How you doing, JB?
I'm doing great. How about you, Mickey?
I'm doing pretty good, like all things considered, of what's happening in the world right now. Uh,
Oh yeah,
Thank you so much for being my first guest. It's quite an adventure, and
I'm
I
honored.
I know I told you like you are the only person that I trusted to like be my first person because I was like I don't know what I'm doing.
It's like I'm not scary. She's good. She's not scary. She's just JB.
And also, I'm really excited to have you because I realized that I'm gonna learn a lot more about you today. So this will be like really like a general overview, but also it'll be a lot of fun just to like get to know each other better.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely. I'm gonna actually turn my fan on real quick. I forgot how hot these lights get.
Oh my gosh, totally.
All right, there we go. Whee!
Wee.
Nothing happened. I'm back.
So, my first question is, how about can you tell us a little bit about like your background and what like got you into the arts, and then just kind of give me an update. Are you still like freelancing full time right now? What? Give me all that. Give me all
All
that
right,
about your
so
background.
no problem. All right, so let's see. I would say well, we'll start off with the last part of the question. The how did I find my current creative pursuit? Um, I have loved doing art and just creating anything since I was little. I like before I could speak, I drew. It took my mom a while to realize, hey, she actually just likes art versus she's destroying all the walls.
It's
But
adorable.
yeah, I've always loved it. I was very big into art until about senior year, where I had a teacher that made me not want to go to art college, but I still loved it. And then afterwards, because I graduated college, I graduated high school in 2003, far before all the easily accessible digital art tools. So it had actually been about 10 years before I did art after I left high school because materials were just too expensive.
Yeah.
I picked it up again when my husband and my daughter came home. She was, I think she was small. She was just small. I think she was like 4 at the time. They brought home our very first tablet. It was a Wacom bamboo tablet. And I was just like, oh, I don't have to waste materials. And I just went. I went. It was a very interesting quality looking
Yeah.
back. I'll look back at some of them just like cringe. It's so, but yeah, I've just always drawn. I still have some of my books from middle school that I drew in.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Yeah,
just like, I'm sitting here
it's
thinking
fall
to myself, like, I'm so happy you kept all that stuff. That's like a huge thing with me is like, there's so much I created that I just didn't even keep. And now, like, I miss those things. Like,
Oh,
I,
I'm a pack rat.
oh
I
my
am a pack
gosh.
rat. I try so hard to just keep the essentials. Because I'm like, the moment I put it away somewhere is the moment I'm like, oh yeah, I had this thing, and then I have to go look for it, and then I can't remember where I put it at. So yeah, I still have it. I actually just rebound the middle school book, I think late last year because it was coming off. There's duct tape on the
Oh
on
my
the
god.
spine now.
Well loved.
Yeah, so yeah, I've loved it a lot, and so I picked it back up, and I've just been creating ever since. Not doing. I've moved more a bit to part-time freelance just because the wrist issues have come back.
Oh my
So I'm
gosh.
trying to be a bit more careful, and just doing that whole self-care thing. That's really hard to do, especially when you're a mom and you want to do art and like you need the income to justify the
Yeah.
art. But yeah, and then like I said, I never went to art college.
Yeah, I was
I've
wondering if you, I mean, if you don't mind sharing, I would
Open
really
book.
love to hear just like what was it maybe like specifically that that teacher like said or did that like discouraged you from going to art college
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, I can definitely answer that. So I have a very poor memory, but there are a few events I remember really, really clearly. We had to do an art project, like a project, a report on an artist that we liked. Super easy. I picked Bob Ross,
oh
and
wholesome. That is
she
so wholesome.
yes, I picked Bob Ross. I was this was like senior year. I was like Bob Ross. Super excited. I've always drawn to Bob Ross. I remember being younger and his show would come on and I would be trying to copy his painting with a yellow legal pad and a blue ballpoint pen.
That is adorable.
And so I was super excited. I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And she told me I could not do a report on Bob Ross because he was not a real artist because he was on television.
Oh my goodness.
And
I
and
it frustrates me so much when like people try to like delegitimize like certain artists because of like dumb
yeah,
standards. Like, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
exactly. So that experience right there, like it completely turned me off of high school. I mean college because I don't want to go and pay thousands of dollars to be graded on someone else's opinion of art. Now, retrospectively, heck yes, I wish I'd gone and just like sucked up my pride and gone anyway. Because I am very curious to know where I would be at now if I actually did have that background. Like, yes, I've come a very long way. I've come very far, skill wise, teaching myself since I think it was 2013 when I got it, 2014 when I started
Wow.
doing commissions. And so, yes, I've come a
Wha-
long way, but
You
I'm
were
still
doing
curious to see.
commissions within a year? I didn't know that about you. That is
It,
good.
it, it oh yeah, yeah. I had like I'm a very much a impulse person. Even if I'm nervous, I'm self contradictory. I can be crazy nervous about something, but it's like the devil's on the devil and angel on the shoulder, and instead it's more like the cool kid and then the shy reserved one on my shoulders. And the shy one's like, I don't know, like I don't really want to. The other one's like, oh, we're doing it now. So I just tend to just jump in there. And so yeah, I my first commission was a comic book. And while I backed it, I loved the people behind it. It was just a very traumatizing experience because the book was keep in mind this was my first comic book and I didn't know everything that it entailed. I didn't do any research. Mistake number one, did not do research. I was just like, yes, sure, I'll do that. And this is where everyone will probably cringe. It was, and it's a great book. It was for a family. She was doing it. Her daughter, who had been bullied, coped with everything, and she wrote a story. And I was illustrating the story in comic book form. That's what her parents wanted to give that to her. So I was all for that. It was a really awesome cause. The book, it turned out really well for the skill I had back then. The story is great though. They've written out the story, so I just had to fill in the
Okay.
images.
Okay, that was like a whole
And
other question I had. I was like,
oh yeah,
when you said you
they
didn't do
already had the
research, I was
story.
like, did you
Well,
have to
because
write a
I
comic
didn't
book?
like. Oh yeah, I didn't. I was just like, oh
Okay.
yeah, sure. I draw pictures and I line them and I color them. And I was like, yeah, I didn't actually. My expectations were not where they should have been for the amount of work that went into it. So of course, I undercharged, woefully undercharged. It
Oh,
was
that's
no.
yeah.
So the first book I did 3 books for them. They were all 24 pages and full color. Uh, I'm very ambitious. The first
A
one
mood.
was, and this is where everyone might cringe, was $25 a page. So yes, $25 a page for I did the layouts, the pencils, the inks, and the colors. And then the second one was 30 or 35 a page, and then the final book ended at about 40 a page.
So first, it's so funny because I've kind of like I've done similar things where it's like I do like the first one and then I almost immediately realize like okay, it's got to be at least double this almost. So like, and I feel like you realize that pretty quickly. But for a frame of reference, like, what would you charge for that like now per page?
Ooh, so if it were a case of them not being like, if it was like for like company wise and not like independent small businessy, gosh, I don't know. I've understood a lot more things, and I've gotten a lot better skill wise. Like I'm proud of my line work. Line work is great. I need to work more on like the comic inking side as far as like screen tones and whatnot.
Oh yeah, okay.
But gosh, for all that, it'd be a few hundred per page.
Yeah.
It would definitely, because, well, yeah, a few hundred with all those three, definitely a few hundred per page.
When you say like a few, I assume you mean more than like a couple. So like three, four.
Oh well, no. I would say, see, I'm super bad at undercharging myself. So I've gotten to the point now where if it's something I'm unfamiliar with, before I give them a quote, I will do like a test page. And then with that, I can see how long it takes me and if our expectations are on the same page. And like I said, I'll just offer to do that one as a test so we can see if what I can provide is what they're looking for, and then I can accurately charge them. I have not done that. I haven't actually done a comic book. That was back in 2014 when that was done. I just was done with comic books until about, I think it was June last year. I was super excited. I got to ink a couple of sections in Raven Pirate Princess.
Yeah, okay.
And so that was really fun, but I just did the inks for that one. And we will not be going to that publisher again. But that's a whole different story. But yeah, where I kind of went on a tangent there. But
no, you're so fine. It's like super interesting to me. I mean, definitely as far as like, I mean, first of all, obviously like with art schools and like
okay.
people just like not like appreciating or understanding, or even just like instructors not understanding the impact that they have on students and that their words have meaning.
Oh yeah.
And that they can like stop somebody from completely like taking a whole different path, which is what you ended up doing. But then also like it's super interesting to me because I mean, so JB like designed the Twitch Raleigh logo, which I like super love. But like one of the things that I was so impressed with you about was that like I felt like your commission process was so clear to me, which I really appreciated because I mean obviously like I value artists, and I don't want to screw them over, but like even when I was like doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so great because I feel like if I was a bad person, this would make it hard for me to screw you over. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely go for an easy to understand process, but at the same time, it protects me as well. And it protects me from, I don't know, like artists. There's a lot of bad rap out there in regards to artists and the clients. Yeah. Clients are afraid of artists because there are lots of artists that will screw clients over. Artists are scared of clients because there are a lot of clients who will screw the artist over. So I try to protect myself, but still providing an easy to understand and non-stressful just commission process. I like keeping people, like, it's all about setting expectations.
Oh my gosh, that's 100%
so
true.
That's why I'm very big on letting people like see the process. So after every phase I'm done working on, I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? So we're all on the same page.
Yeah, would you mind talking through, even if you use like the Twitch Raleigh one as an example, would you mind talking through your commission process, like, and especially like that payment aspect, like you ask for payment here, you ask for payment there, that just really, again, like prevents anyone from having bad expectations.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's see, actually, so I wonder if I can actually pull some up on my tablet here, and I can just screen share.
Okay.
The program, but I'll probably just use like one of my regular commissions. Just so, let's see. see, maybe this one. All right, so this would be a good one. Let me grab some of these. I tend to save screenshots now.
That's smart.
So let's see. Not that one. That. This should be. Yay, my computer didn't struggle. Alright, so where are we? Alright, so let's see here. I'm gonna screen share. And hopefully this works. Let's see here.
Okay, cool.
Is it showing up?
Yes, it is.
Alright, cool.
Talk us through it.
Alright, so this actually, I think I missed one. So they had a bit of a specific idea in mind. And so I did a rough sketch. Where is that? Oh yeah, these are should have kind of okay, here we go. So based on information they gave me some loose references. Thank you. Gave me some loose references and I jotted together a bit of a rough image. I had them look over it for us to pose. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I like that. Then some time passed and I realized there were lots of things wrong. And so this was the second attempt at the, let's see, this one was possibly the first, I don't know. This one I went back and forth a lot because I kept seeing things. They were fine with it, but it wasn't up to my standards. So I kind of went back and forth a little bit. See, 1741. So I went in. Yeah, this was the first one. I'm so sorry, guys. This was the first one. And then I realized lots of issues were wrong with anatomy. So I redid the anatomy, sent it to them, had them confirm it. Then did some rough blocking out of the clothes and everything, sent it to them, had them approve it. And then, let's see, that's still the other one. And then I would just kind of keep sending them updates along the way. That way it's, and I'll show you guys, this is the final here. So I was very, let's see, words.
At what point did you ask for payment? Was it like at the front and then at the end?
Oh yeah, typically I used to do all up front. I can go ahead and switch it over now. I used to do all up front, but then I was a bit like with the larger priced ones, I kind of felt bad, so I kind of improvised. So I would do half up front, half at the end. Now that said, I ran into the issue where I would finish it up and then ask them for payment, and then I wouldn't give them the final one until I got payment. They'd get like a low res preview. But then it would take them, they're like, oh, well, I already spent the money, so I'll get it to you in a couple weeks. So in light of that, I've switched, and I completely understand that. It happens.
Oh, it totally happens, yeah.
Life is like, hey, guess what? No. So what I did was, what I've started doing now is I will accept after a certain price point. Right now it's $130. It's eligible for split payments. Okay. And so I will take at least half of it up front, and then the remainder to be paid when I'm going to, like, once I get to the finishing stage. So once I do the final, especially for painting, once I get to the part where I'm going to be spending hours and hours rendering it, I need the payment before that starts.
Yeah.
That way, if they, oh, darn, hi. That way, if something comes up, then that's fine. It takes a bit off of both of our backs. They know where they stand. Like, they know, all right, cool. They're still working. They've gotten to this point. They're comfortable. And I am not stressing out because I've done all this work and busted my butt, and then I still have to wait for the remainder of the payment. So I've definitely done that. And it's definitely, being a commissioner and a freelancer, it's definitely finding a sense of balance when it comes to giving and taking. I want everyone, it's really easy to just forget about yourself and just worry about the client, because yeah, they are choosing to spend money on a digital product.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do that. They don't. And so it's really easy to worry about them. But I've learned over the years that while it's good that you worry about them, you need to also worry about the stress you're putting on yourself.
Gotta take care of
Because it
yourself
would
before
be,
you can take care
yeah,
of anybody else.
exactly.
Like,
And so if, yeah, you're getting the money, but at what cost? It can get to the point where, like with the comic book, I was super excited to work on comics. I love comics. I have comics. I have like a wall of comics over here, and then my Joker, my creepy Joker over there.
yeah, creepy choker.
But but the fact that I burned myself out because I was so worried about them that I didn't charge what I should have. I was so worried about them that I kept working myself so hard that real life stuff, it took a hit.
Totally.
And that caused a lot of issues in my personal life. So it's definitely, you gotta find that balance. And if they are a client worth having, then they will be patient. That's just it. If they're a client worth having, they'll be patient.
There is like that classic, and I know it's not necessarily always true, but there's that classic like 80-20 rule that it's like, the clients that take up, there's only 20% of your clients that take up like 80% of your frustrations and your time. So like,
Oh,
yeah, like you just have like, and it sucks because like it can feel like so overwhelming. Like it can feel like everybody sucks and everybody's awful, but like really, it's only 20% of those people that are really super frustrating.
Oh, yeah. And it's intimidating. It's definitely something you have to take your time. It's going to take time to learn that lesson yourself. That's
Yes.
you think you know, but it you're gonna have to go through those experiences yourself to really, really understand and appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that that's super true too. And like in all arts, a lot of people when and I'm sure you've experienced this, a lot of people just kind of want to like jump to the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I wish everybody could do that, but at the same time, just like you said, like you kind of have to learn the lessons for yourself. You kind of have to suffer a little. And I know that that sounds like dramatic and mean, but it's true.
It's not mean. It's definitely a thing. And I just realized that, like, I saw you. I'm like, wow, it's 2:35 already. We've done like one question on the.
No, I know. That's okay. That's all right. We're getting through. And plus, like, we don't have to answer all these. Like, that's why I was like, we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I guess I have time afterwards, so just go ahead and answer. We'll try to go through some more of the questions.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So another one that like I wanted to ask you, and I feel like, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit, but do you have any other like you think like common mistakes that artists make, and specifically like when they're trying to make their art like a business or trying to make money off of it? Yeah.
Let's see. Definitely the most popular one is, I would say the biggest one overall is managing expectations.
Yeah.
That is the number one blanket issue or mistake that a lot of people make, that I myself made. You've got to understand. I know it's really easy to just like jump like, how much should I price this for? How much should I price this for? Super common one to ask about. And the answer is, it's literally how long does it take you? So, and if you're not sure, test it. It's like, test it, and then you'll know. Like it's that easy. Just test it, see how long it's going to take you, and then get back to them. Again, if they're a client worth having, they will be fine with you making sure that you can deliver what you're saying you can.
Yeah.
And because what happens is, in the middle you realize, oh no, I can't actually do this. And then you're spending more time trying to learn how to do that. And then it's just, it crumbles from there.
Yeah.
And then I would say another one is, let's see, not getting feedback on your work, not posting it. Like if you want to make money, off of your creative products or any products. It's like an ad. You need products. You need product. One site will not do it. It just won't. Multiple sites. It's because not everyone's going to use one. Like a lot of industry people I'm familiar with, they use Twitter. Twitter. I try, but it's too hard for me to keep up with. Instagram, I love Instagram. I'm finally getting used to that. Before that, I was doing Facebook. Before that, the days of DeviantArt.
Oh my gosh. I was like, do people still use DeviantArt? A real question I have. Okay.
DeviantArt. Okay, so from real talk, DeviantArt is great. It's a great starter site to post art on. Like if you're just starting out and you're not too familiar with it, to me, and like even if you're worried about your skill, to me, DeviantArt is a great place. It's a great place. And another important thing: have thick skin. Have thick skin for the love of all that's good. People are going to say mean stuff. If you can't process that and then learn from that and then just kind of keep moving forward from that, it will make the whole process harder. It really will. And that again, setting expectations. Like you've
And I also think there's like this piece of like having thick skin that's kind of like knowing what opinions matter, if that makes sense. Like for like if there's a client that is just like never giving you a hard time, and then they say like, you know, I was disappointed in this work for this reason, and if you can like really think in your head and you're like, okay, I mean like I'm really embarrassed and it makes me really angry, but they right though. Yeah, versus like some rando on the internet and you're like, okay, like, I mean, I hear you, but honestly, like, you don't know me, and that's actually specifically what I was going for. So, yeah, but I have. So there's like a balance
like that where I've posted it and there's been so much like almost lashback from it, but the client loves it.
Yeah,
the client loves it, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters. I mean, afterwards, I was just like, okay, I'm not. It's a fine line. If it's just one or two people, yeah, whatever. But if again, it's your business. So if you post a product, you don't have to post everything you work on. Just post your best pieces. The internet will basically be your portfolio. Put your best pieces out there. Have best pieces to put out there. And so if there's a lot of negativity, you don't want that one that raises that. You want your work to not have a lot of negative questions that it triggers. You want positive experiences tied to that work. You want people to be look at it and go, oh, that's really cool. Not, oh, why is that like that? That wouldn't make any sense. Blah, 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 like stuff like that. So I stopped posting. I didn't post that one up too many more places, but I still, the rendering of that was beautiful.
That's awesome. So I mean, we're
and also business cards and logos.
Look, I was going to ask you what your opinions of a business cards are. I think it's fascinating how I was talking to a drawer forever, which is an artist that I super love. But they were talking to me, and I had this moment where I realized that business cards for artists have changed. Because I feel like business cards for artists are now considered like miniature art prints.
They really are.
Art prints.
Yeah, they have. You've seen my newest card that I recently redid. Let me see here.
I was gonna say, do you have it? Can we see?
Oh yeah. Yep, here we go. So this is my. Let's see.
Yes.
This is my new. Let me see if I can't like make this bigger so I can actually make sure.
It's a miniature art print.
It's backwards, but yeah.
It's frontwards on here actually. Oh wait, is it?
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
It is.
Ooh, great, that's fantastic. So. Here we go. It's a bit blurry because I have it on autofocus, so it's a bit hard to see.
That's okay. But yeah.
There's a little bit of spot gloss right there. But yeah, so that's the front. And in the back, I have artwork on.
Oh,
and
that's great.
I've done that because it gives them more to look at and to remember. So first off, with this card, edges are rounded. Everyone's doing rounded edges nowadays, but that's fine because there are a lot of non-art type businesses that don't do rounded edges. And so if someone's going through their card collection, it's not going to be as uniform with all the other ones. Another thing is that business cards in general, someone's like, what's the point of business cards? Everything's digital. Point of a business card is just something tangible. No matter how digital things get, especially at a convention where there's like Wi-Fi, but everything is just crapped out.
Yeah, you're not getting on it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Low times, and it makes things really awkward when you have to stop and do something. So another reason, it's like, hey, here's my card, and they just pocket it, and they might forget it's there. Like I had one comic industry person, and I'm horrible at names. If I saw his face, I would be like, that guy. I believe he was a writer for some of the Deadpool comics. But he was like, I remember that card from the last con, and I remember keeping it, and I was like, I couldn't remember if I kept it to be nice, or if I kept it because I actually wanted to keep it. He's like, I really wanted to keep yours. And so it's just something tangible.
Yeah.
And these are fun. The spot gloss on it, another little detail. It was like, oh, it's shiny. Yeah, another reason, they're remembering my name. In the back, oh, wow. Another thing. So it's like a little maze or puzzle. Mind control.
Awesome.
It's like, remember me. But yeah, business cards are great. Consistency across all your platforms is great as well. So I have my Frankie gal. I love Frankie. She's my little tiefling that's all over everything now. Even like that, this is Frankie. I actually made her during a stream because I was like, you know what? I want a mascot. Who here wants to help me design a mascot? And so we made one, and she is now on everything. That way, even if people might not remember my name, they recognize, oh, the blue chick with the horn, the girl with the horns and the blue hair. There.
Yeah, it's like when I think of you, like I see her in my mind. I'm like, yeah, there it is. That's JB.
Yeah,
there it is.
And it's really easy to find.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, I love the fact that you were specifically talking about like social media that works for you. Because I do think that that's like something that people get stuck on is like, they feel like they have to use like one platform when, yeah, like really they should just use whatever works for them.
It's definitely a learning process. It's going to take some experimenting. One platform that might work for someone else might not work for you. If you want to still do it, you can still do it. It's nothing stopping you from still doing it because you never know. It might just one day just pick up, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, that was me with Instagram. Instagram is now my favorite platform. I can post like work in progresses. I can just post finals and whatnot. I also use ArtStation a lot, and I actually also have my own site too. It all depends on your audience.
Yeah.
If you're a freelancer, you want to cover as many audiences as you can.
Cool. So just so chat knows, if you post questions in chat, we will address them at this time. But otherwise, we're just going to kind of keep chatting through our list. So one thing that I really want to talk to you about are just like current trends about the arts and arts as a business that are happening right now and just what you think of them. Because like obviously like I met you through streaming, which in some ways is definitely like a more recent trend. But yeah, if you want to talk about that, or maybe you want to talk about TikTok.
We met at a drink and draw. And then you told me about we met at one of the drink and draws.
I believe you.
And then you told me about the Twitch community thing.
Was that at Emerge?
It wasn't at Emerge. It was at the Irish pub. What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. But the Irish pub, they had like a second floor that was outside. Hibernian.
That
Iberian,
is
whatever.
where we
That's
met.
where we met. Yeah.
Oh, that is
That was actually
crazy.
when I was first started trying to get out there and network and whatnot, because it was a game industry like the Dev Drink and Draw. Oh, no,
Yeah.
the Dev Drink Up. There we go, Dev Drink Up. And so I was like, all right, cool. There's local Twitch. I'm gonna, hey, how you doing? And
I remember. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I mean that's almost like a twofer then, but yeah, just like trends. There's
yeah,
like a
okay,
yeah.
trend wise, okay, so, geez, see, I honestly, I don't really know an answer, like a hardcore factual answer. I myself am still experimenting, and we do have a question, but I myself am still experimenting with what works for me personally. But outside, like, I would say, while trends are good, trends also get oversaturated.
They certainly
So
can.
yes. So what I'm working on personally is just experimenting with what I can do that's more personal, that makes you stick out more. So me myself, I hit up conventions. To me, are networking opportunities. I prepare to stay all day at a convention, from like open to close, and I'll take charger, water, bag, everything. I will attend panels. I just want to make sure that all those industry people, they recognize, they know me. Like it's great. It's great. Um, gosh, some people. It depends on your medium. Like if you're like photographer, definitely art shows. Definitely art shows would be an amazing platform. Some, I know near me in the Raleigh area, there's this place that they are just have it all the time. Like, I think it's Triangle Artworks. Um, and even just attend networking events, because if the networking event is in your kind of industry or somewhat around adjacent to your industry, going to that, you can ask more people about, hey, I do this. Do you have any suggestions or tips for how I can, like, where my market would better be suited for?
One of and this is maybe not the most popular piece of advice, but it is one that I believe really strongly in, that like artists should go to like regular business networking events, like I mean like to the chamber, and be like,
Mm,
hello, like I have like a serious business where I do this. And don't get me wrong, like I think that that will be a very hard environment just because of like negative
yeah.
stereotypes and people just don't take the art seriously. But at the same time, it's a real good way to like be able to look somebody down in the eye and be like, no, really, though. No, really.
I would say, because I actually have done a couple of those when I first started trying to kind of do the network thing, because this was before I even realized that there were a bunch of different kinds. So I would say, if you're ready for, you do research.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
research on who is going to be there or what type of businesses it looks like. Because yeah, you might want to really get out there and talk about your business as an artist or some kind of creative person. But if you're trying to push that at a business to business networking event
Oh,
where it's like,
B2B.
hey,
Yeah.
we run restaurants and we do windows, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go. It won't necessarily hurt, but personally, I don't think it's the best use of your time.
No, that's definitely
Um,
really true, and it's even like networking events that do allow, like maybe they have like speakers, or so like basically like they're just publicizing the names of some of the attendees. Like
mhm,
I am like notorious, like when I'm on. I mean, I'm off plenty of times, but when I'm like real on my game, like I'll go through that entire list and I'm like, that's the one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If
If you
I
can
have to
just put
pick
on one
one
convention that
person,
might be similar, go. Yeah, if there's at least one there, go.
yeah,
I
yeah,
look at it this way: the worst thing that can happen is that nothing has changed. You know what I mean? So if you go and nothing happens because of it, guess what? If you didn't go, it's not like it's not going to negatively affect you. You at least tried, and
exactly.
now you don't have to worry about, oh man, I should have gone to this. Maybe I could have done this. It's, hey, I went to that thing, didn't work out, but hey, I went to it. You don't have any more questions and what ifs.
Yeah, you don't have any FOMO at least. We're
Yeah,
gonna take the question that
yeah.
Black Kevin asked, which is, which style of art, sketch or graphic or etc., do you enjoy creating the most?
Let's see. Hmm. Jeez. Okay, so I would say it's a tie between. God, I like them all though. That's why I offered them.
No,
Painting.
but that's
It's
see, that's
yeah,
important. Like, you don't offer it if you don't like it. You're like,
yeah, exactly. I just realized I'm lagging really badly, and then just like I realized that I squint one eye more. I have like a lazy blink,
that's okay.
but I like them all for different things. So sketching I like because I can do it quicker. It's quicker turnaround. I don't have to think as hard as about will this hold up. Lining I like because I love lining. Lines can be so beautiful, and I worked really hard to develop my lines. So I love that one. I would say rendering is the most satisfying because it's
Mm,
fun making things look beautiful, like all shiny and polished. And I'm gonna switch over real quick, and I will actually give you guys an example
okay.
when I zoom in on that same piece I did earlier. Like me, I love hands. Hands are fun to paint, and I'm going to mute that. That's probably spam anyway because it's from Georgia. Okay, so this guy here, I really love this, and the things I love the most about it are the hands.
Yeah, those are some
So
beautiful hands.
that
Yeah, look
that
at
is a
that. That
beautiful
is a
hand.
beautiful hand.
I
That is
love that hand. I love
gorgeous.
that hand so much.
Look, they're
Uh,
identical. They're
yeah.
identical.
And even this hand right here. I like doing the
Can't do
little
that.
metal pieces and whatnot, and like the wings when this came up. I can play with color more and light. And then another one that I really liked. This one was a bit harder for me, but I loved how the jewelry turned out. Like it turned out so pretty. Um, this gold was
Yeah.
so
I love the
like
texture. Like, it's so beautiful.
oh
And I saw,
yeah.
like, your donut. Look.
Oh yeah,
I thought
that
it was a
was
photo. Like, I was.
everyone. Okay, so since this for this stream, I will share you guys something. I have been working on it some more, but I took a break that weekend because I didn't like it. I need to work more on textures and whatnot, but this is what I came to.
Just like.
But with the table being so textured, the rest of it feels like someone made some miniatures and like they're too smooth for me. But I was proud of it because the Giddis, that's a hand painted texture.
That's like the reflection. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just gorgeous to me.
So like I said, I'm loving 3D. It's fun. It's just I have to be in a mindset for it.
And then Black Kevin said we converted the question to be, what do you love most about each of your various
I
art styles
know.
of art? Look,
It's
that's
a
it.
I don't, okay, so if I had to pick one, it would be the painting. It
Okay.
would be the painting. If I gun to my head, I had to pick one, it would be the painting. Because it's satisfying. It's the most satisfying when it's done. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of work. I have admittedly overworked myself several times on them, but I just love them so much.
Wow.
Jeez. Yeah, yep, definitely those.
Awesome. Awesome. I was gonna ask you, uh, just like about your Patreon. That's what I was gonna ask you about. I was like, what was it
Oh
again?
yeah.
About your Patreon. Are you still doing your Patreon? Do you want to talk a little bit about your Patreon? I want
I
you
would love
to.
to talk about it. I got very like between my wrist issues that happened last year, like they're still unfortunately at this point, my orthopedic is looking at surgery
Mm,
on it. And I'm terrified because I'm like, what if something goes wrong and then I can't do art anymore?
a nightmare.
I am super terrified, like anxiety attack level terrified of it. But I want to do art, and I it's like, do I take the risk to just be able to go freely? So because of that, things have slowed down on the Patreon. I still
Okay.
really want to get back to it, but the hand put like commissions come first. You know what I mean? Commissions
Yeah.
definitely come first. So I'm almost cleared up my commission list, and then I was thinking about putting commissions on hold so I can focus a little bit on ramping up some of the production. So for those of you who don't know, my Patreon is going to be focused towards making game assets, 2D top down as well as isometric projection. And I have, let me see if I can't find some of those for you guys right here. Let's see here. We got this one. So back to the screen share. Boom. Stuff like this right here. These are early
They
ones.
look so good.
And I love it. Like I don't see too many really painterly, especially like the isometric projection tiles. And so I really wanted to provide a high quality style that it was more, I guess, immersive, and it felt more real, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not so much pixely, and don't get me wrong, pixel games, there's some beautiful pixel artists out there. They do such amazing work, but I wanted something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy painting textures. As far as like organic or even just man-made textures, I love them. So I'm doing a version like this. This is for more like game dev use in Blender. And I have a rough sample that I actually used in Blender. Let's see here. So, waiting. It's loading. Ignore the black screen. I'm still here. I taxed the heck out of my computers. But this was an early little test. I'm gonna be going back and tweaking some of the colors a bit more, but yeah, so just I want to make sure everything worked in Blender. So I'm learning Blender so I can make sure they work, so it's easier for isometric. It's easier for whoever buys the package. If I know they work, I know that it's going to be easy for them, and then it's less questions.
That's so cool.
I'm also going to be, let me just save these real quick. Save these. Close out a few things. Then, I'm also going to be doing some top-down tiles for games like D&D and whatnot.
Okay.
So more tabletop type tiles. Tabletop tiles.
I
know, right?
T.
So, yeah. So, like this right here. This is the kind of like the dungeon texture pack I'm working on. I'm working on adding some curved corners as well, and making so people could do circles and whatnot.
So cool.
Yeah, and I love it. It's so much fun. And I also had some. And then so this right here is the wooden floor one. Wooden floor tiles. Again, I love it. They repeat, but it's not as copy paste repeat. They're actually 4 tiles that are being copied and pasted.
Okay.
That way it spreads it out a bit. I'm OCD, so when I see a pattern, my eye like glues to the pattern. So I like kind of like hiding the pattern, spacing it out. Cool. And so yeah, I was just gonna offer some of these. They're gonna also be on other sites like itch.io as well as Unreal Marketplace.
Okay.
That way, and my Patreon, they would have access to the high definition.
Cool.
As well as the fancier corner pieces.
Awesome. Well, that's super cool. And I think it's so great that you're just like prioritizing your business as much as you can, all things considered. I mean, that's like a whole other conversation. Like parenting, like, first of all, like being a parent and an artist is a whole conversation. Yeah. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, it definitely helps that my kids are not as tiny as they were. They are they're basically, my daughter's birthday is next week, and my son's birthday is next month. So they're basically 12 and 8. I mean, 11 and 8. She's not 12 yet. Dear, no.
Not yet.
She's almost as tall as me, so it's really, really weird.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Awesome. Well, I mean, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it here. This has been Untethered Studios. Untethered, what you want to plug before we get out of here?
Geez, what do I unplug? My Twitch. I'm working on... or just, I would definitely say my Instagram is mostly it. If you just Google Untethered Studios.
You're the only thing that comes up. Yeah, it's so great.
There's actually only one other site that will be, or last time I checked, there's only one other thing that pops up, and it's Untethered Studio, and they do more graphic design work or something like that, but their name is also Jessica. The J stands for Jessica.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
It was really, really funny. But yeah, if you just Google Untethered Studios, just follow me. I want to plug me. And also shout out to if you're in the Raleigh area and you stream at all, Twitch community meetups. They are so much fun, and everyone's really freaking cool, and it's nice. It's a really great supportive environment. It's not intimidating at all, and yeah, you might be shy, but it's a good baby step. Come to one, hang out in the back, just people watch.
Yes.
We won't push you. Well, most people won't push you too hard. I might get overzealous if I've had like 0 sleep, but it's all out of love. But yeah, definitely hit us up.
Awesome. Also, Bella, thank you so much for stopping by to say hello. And then Dawn, hello. And otherwise, just everybody, thank you so much for stopping by for our first ever episode Creativity Business Podcast. I'm going to go ahead and head out, but otherwise, just have a good time. Going to move to the ending soon screen. You have a good one. Bye.
All right, take care, guys.